Man, I'm pissed off at how much I enjoyed Godzilla Minus One and how much it really blew me away. I had the opportunity to watch Godzilla Minus One a little bit early, so you know we gotta talk about it. And I wanna give you my quick, honest, spoiler-free thoughts of the movie, because I just gotta get all this stuff off my chest. First and foremost, can we all acknowledge that Godzilla's theme is one of the most underrated cinematic scores ever composed? It's been turned into a hip-hop track, but for me, it's the dun 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 dun. That shit slaps every time. Now, I do wanna preface this review. If you're someone who enjoys the MonsterVerse and enjoys watching giant kaijus fighting each other soullessly, this movie might be a little bit of a turnoff for you, as this movie, at least in my opinion, has a lot more to say, has much better character work, and just puts a certain amount of emotion, care, and soul that we just don't really see in Legendary's movies. Director Takashi Yamazaki takes us back to Godzilla's 1954 roots, specifically to post-World War II Japan. Yamazaki does a wonderful job in making us feel that devastation of Japan post-World War II, and it takes that heartbreak and devastation and really focuses on the characters here, which I thought was a very nice change up from the MonsterVerse and their very shallow characters. I mean, you could just imagine how traumatic and raw and really emotional it was in Japan during that time, and that's instilled in our main character, Koichi Shikishima, a kamikaze fighter pilot who ended up chickening out and now suffers from survivor's guilt and PTSD, or should I say PTGD, because during an encounter with a much smaller and younger Godzilla, he chickens out yet again, which leads to a bunch of people being murdered. Every single cast member gives it their all and pulls no punches. I would say we even get one of the better child actor performances I've seen in a long time. Each line of dialogue is delivered with just so much raw passion and emotion that you have to be able to feel something. This movie has a lot of tearjerker moments, and if you don't at least have some type of emotional reaction to those scenes, you're probably a worse monster than Godzilla. Who, speaking of, yes, the movie is titled Godzilla Minus One, so of course we're going to be talking about Godzilla, Big G, Goji, the lizard king of the monsters baptized in the aftermath of the atomic bomb. They take a much more classic approach with Godzilla's design, which I really appreciated, but the one thing that stood out with me is that he's just a pure monster. There are no moments of silliness, he rarely shows emotion, and really he's just the physical embodiment of death and destruction. Oh yeah, and this gotta be the most lethal atomic breath Godzilla has ever put to the silver screen. This shit would make Oppenheimer jealous. Which does lead me to some criticisms where I thought the CGI looked a little ugh. But given the fact the budget was around $20 million, which is like 10 times less than what MonsterVerse is, I thought it was pretty damn great. Now the pacing also drags at times, but that's more of a personal issue. There are a lot of cliche moments, and one moment specifically that irked me a little bit. It's more of a personal preference that I would have preferred. All in all, I thoroughly enjoyed my time watching Godzilla Minus One. If you're a big Godzilla fan, I think you're gonna love this movie. Oh yeah, and watch this in IMAX, Dolby. I watched it in Dolby and I thought Godzilla himself was gonna come out of the screen. He was gonna do what? But literally, I got an ass crack and back massage. It was nice. But all in all, Toho delivers us a massive, massive W. And I ended up giving Godzilla Minus One 4 stars on Letterboxd. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Are you gonna be watching Godzilla Minus One this weekend? And as always, like and follow if I'm out.